Hello and happy Manga Monday! Today we're appreciating some new sizzling manga titles and that all happened to feature some more provocative, shall we say, material, otherwise known as ecchi content. So you have been warned. I feel like if you clicked on this video, you should already know what you're in for. But just in case, oh boy. So yeah, it's hot. It is the midst of summer and we are going to be sailing the seven seas quite literally by reviewing some of my favorite saucy, sizzling hot new titles from Seven Seas. They all just happen to be from Seven Seas, so I'm like, yeah, I'll just roll with it. I don't know if you want more like theme publisher content, I don't know, let me know, but this was just pure happenstance. If you like the video, please do like the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you. So yeah, we are talking ecchi, we are talking some risque content, and yes, these do for the most part feature underage girls, fictional underage girls. But I do want to put it out there, I wholly acknowledge that not everyone likes ecchi, and for good reason. It's weird, quite frankly, but as someone who grew up in the 90s and especially early 2000s when ecchi was rife, and I absorbed a lot of it, okay? It was crucial to my anime manga upbringing, okay? I never judge a series based purely on that. Do I get tired of a series if it is relying heavily on ecchi content and not plot, characters, etc.? Yes. So these would not be my favorites if they felt that way to me, and at least so far, I mean, they are new and they are still ongoing, but they have not felt that way to me personally. So yeah, with like that out of the way, and if you don't like any of these titles, just be respectful in the comments. I totally understand we might not all have the same opinions or the same tastes. That's totally okay. If you like this kind of content, let me know what your favorite ecchi title is below. So yeah, with that, let's jump into the manga. First up, we have I Got Married to the Girl I Hate Most in Class. So this title definitely made me feel like I jumped back into the early 2000s, and not in a bad way. Like, this takes a lot of those ecchi tropes and cliches, but I still enjoyed it. And we even have, as our leading lady, quite a tsundere. She is hardly able to, you know, speak her true feelings and is always quite reactive. Again, very reminiscent of early 2000s girls. If you know, you know. But I have always been a sucker for tsundere. I just kind of thought I grew out of the whole trope of it, but I can't lie, Akane here is adorable. She has my heart, and I do appreciate that in this series they do eventually reveal why Akane is so hostile towards the potential male love interest, Saito. They have become quote-unquote arch enemies and are notorious in their high school for having a bitter rivalry. Every day Akane gets on Saito's ass and just chews him out, and Saito is kind of understandably tired of it. However, when we do get Akane's side, which I won't spoil here because it's not even in the first volume, you can kind of sympathize with her and why she would suddenly be like, oh, okay, now you're on my shit list. Because I would have felt that way, girl. at the same time, you can understand what happened and like why he's still very oblivious to the whole thing. And yeah, so it's cute, right? They're high school, arch enemies is the setup, right? Then things get even messier. We get grandma and grandpa involved. Akane's grandma and Saito's grandpa, and they come in here, they're kikiing, and they're like, hey, you guys are gonna get married. What? Are you effing kidding me? Like, stupidest setup ever. Like, stupidest setup. Like, we had feelings for each other, but we never acted on them. So you two, who we have no idea if you have actual feelings for each other, are now going to like be our surrogate test run dummies and play out the what if scenario that, you know, we didn't do. Insane, asinine, completely, 100%. Are they then forced into a marriage and living together situation? Yes. Am I a super duper sucker for a living together close proximity trope? Yes. Fake marriage? Yes. The tsundere cherry on top, like, it's all great. It's all great. And this one is probably the closest in this group to an actual harem type ecchi, meaning there will be rival love interests that pop in as the series goes. There is also an anime if you'd like to watch that, which I did and already talked about. So to spare you any further you know, ramblings on the series, I'll just sum it up by saying this one's suggested for older teens, 15 and up, and the manga so far is more ecchi than the anime. A silly situation that plays out and that does not play out in the anime, which I was surprised. Was it needed? No. Like I said, I can take or leave fan service and ecchi. It doesn't necessarily add anything to my enjoyment, but it doesn't subtract it either. Like, I mean, she cute. I'll sit here and enjoy. I'll just not think about the fact that she's a high schooler. But this one's just a doozy of a rom-com, and if you love out there scenarios and cuteness and fan service and crazy shenanigans with a dose of harem, this should be your read. You should already be reading this. Next up, we have Nakamurasan, the uninvited Gyaru. So, of course, after tsunderes, what comes next? Gyarus! Yay! Honestly, like, tsunderes and Gyarus are like probably the top two most prevalent archetypes of ecchi manga or manga with fan service. I just, yeah, I don't know why. But yeah, we got a gutsy gal and a shy otaku, and they equal one hot mess. So yeah, Nakamura-san here is polar opposites to Akiyama, her coworker. However, after she saves his life, she demands something unbelievable: to live with him. Proud, bold, and unafraid to show off her body, Nakamura is the perfect image of a Gyaru, except she's also a flustered, blushing, emotional mess underneath it all. This is definitely one of those titles that is the girl that seems confident and bold and self-assured is really awkward and unable to express herself when it concerns the guy she actually is interested in. And I really enjoy this dynamic. I think Nakamura is super fun. She's feisty, she's crazy, and says things kind of off the cuff or whatever, and doesn't think before she speaks type of personality. But she's so earnest and sweet, and you just can't help but root for her. You just want to go girl, go, you can do it. And Akiyama, of course, is the titular oblivious male protagonist, so he's just all like, I don't understand why she's living with me, but sure, I can't say no to her. Like, he's kind of a total pushover otaku that, you know, the tried and true archetype. But he's also very likable, you know. He's not too pervy, he's not too submissive. He's a good balance of like what it feels like a normal, you know, slightly nerdy guy would be like, you know, in this situation. He tries to be respectful to Nakamura, but you know, it takes a look-see every once in a while when she's giving him out. And who wouldn't? Oh my god, Nakamura's so cute. I literally like fell in love with her in the first volume. But yeah, she has her own otaku side underneath for a special magical girl series that is near and dear to her heart. So they start bonding, start trying to like share interests and grow closer through that. And of course that close proximity, forced proximity that Nakamura forces onto Akiyama doesn't hurt. I just really enjoy that because they get to see their more vulnerable sides, their more unguarded sides, and just the day-to-day life and interactions, and it's just so cute. It's another very cute and feisty rom-com with, of course, fan service around every corner. I don't think it's too over the top. It's sprinkled in just enough to keep you going, but not enough to deter you. And I like it. I think it's well done, well executed. It's both sizzling and sweet. It strikes a good balance between those two things. I also appreciate that this is a ecchi series that isn't high schoolers. So that's really nice, a breath of fresh air. This series is rated 15 plus as well. And yeah, if you think you might love this tough but sweet Gyaru, then I think you should check this series out too. We had a little change of pace with Nakamurasan. However, we are headed back to high school for the last two. And up next is Now That We Draw. So honest to God, if my friend had not purchased me this first volume, I don't know if I would have picked it up. Did the summary sound sweet? Yes, it did. It seemed very sweet. However, all I can see are these. I can't focus on anything else. And I'm like, no, it's gonna be too much. It's gonna be too much ecchi. It's gonna be too much fan service, right? Actually not. It's really, really sweet inside. Yes, of course, you get some cleavage, you get some panty shots, you get some excitable moments, but still rated 15 plus, so it's not any more than the others. And in fact, there are a lot of these ecchi moments that work towards the plot of the story, and I have to give it kudos, like an extra little star for weaving the ecchi into a plot. It's like you made the fan service make more sense by doing this, so you can get away with it more. So yeah, just bravo to this mangaka for doing that. But yeah, we have another opposites attract in this rom-com about two high school manga artists who can't catch a break. So we got the dweeby high schooler Yuki, and he wants to be a mangaka. He has this perfect heroine that he has drawn, and he wants to create a manga with her as the heroine. However, he gets knocked down a peg by an editor saying that this is too unrealistic. And then he meets the bubbly, gorgeous classmate, Nina, an aspiring manga artist herself. So again, they have this foundation that they share something in common, and they have a passion for manga in common. I mean, even more so than Nakamura-san, they really grow closer because of this. And of course, because of the preposterous proposal that Nina basically forces on Yuki, which is to fake date so that they can recreate romantic moments like they read in manga and that maybe that real life romance will spark creativity and inspiration for their failed manga ventures. It's again very convoluted of a premise. However, I love it. And of course, that gives way to the very cute fan service moments of these awkward teenagers trying to like recreate cute, spicy, heart-throbby moments, I guess. It is incorporated into their basic goal to write better manga. And at the heart of this series, it's really about wanting to be a mangaka, wanting to chase your dream, wanting to achieve your goal and fulfill your passions. And that, I think, is something we can totally, like, a lot of us can totally relate to and be able to root for these kids and be able to really, you know, feel the emotional weight of certain moments and scenes in this series already. I mean, we've only gotten 2 volumes, but they already have stolen my heart. I mean, I am shocked. I was beyond shocked when I started reading it and was like already smitten with it, because this cover was a bit much for me. Like, and I try not to judge a book by its cover, but come on, they're right there. Right in my face. Like, this is gonna be too over the top. But yeah, no, it still strikes a good balance. It still strikes a really good balance between story and the fan service. And yeah, I mean, what else can I say? Oh, the art is amazing. If you haven't been, you know, looking up and seeing over here some really pretty art I try and put in the corners, and you should take a gander at it, because it is just really nice, really cute, really fluffy, just adds to the overall atmosphere and cuteness overload of this manga. So yeah, I totally understand being intimidated by this cover. I was overwhelmed by it, but I'm really, really glad to have gotten into it, because yeah, it's just so surprisingly heartfelt and full of passion. It's full of some other stuff. It's full of passion, and it's really, really silly, goofy fun. Last newer series that has some saucy moments. I'd say this is less ecchi, more drama, because you don't have those funny moments, which that's how I see ecchi, as a balance between the comedy, romance usually, and then the fan service. So these are more like tasteful fan service. I don't know how tasteful it is, but it's a different vibe, that's for sure. So if you were like, not into rom-com, I'm not into rom-com, I'm not into rom-com, then maybe you'll be into this. And last up we have My Girlfriend's Not Here Today. Oh my god, I didn't want anything to do with this title. We're ending on 2 that seriously surprised me. The last one I wasn't gonna pick up because of the cover. This one I wasn't gonna pick up because of the premise. So the premise is one that has a lot to do with, well, basically cheating. Which is not what I like. I don't like cheating. It makes me uncomfy. It makes me sad. But how they do it, how they manage to make it be almost understandable, almost like I don't care. It's impressive. It's impressive. But yeah, I have to rewind and tell you about the premise so that you're on the same page as me if you haven't read this one yet. So we have one high schooler who is pent up and tired of her apathetic girlfriend, and she is Uni. Uni turns to her anonymous online account to vent about her life, and you know, oscillate between being depressed on there and gushing about her girlfriend. Her girlfriend is on, I believe it is the volleyball team. It is a sports team. And she is very dedicated to her team. She is very dedicated to the sport. And as such, her girlfriend seems to get pushed on the back burner. Not to mention, she wants to keep their relationship hush-hush secret now. So that's frustrating for Uni, and you feel bad for her watching them interact, watching her pain, you know, you can see the built up pain from this being a consistency in their relationship. And then enters the chat our third player, and that's Taki. She's beautiful and outgoing and just a bit weird and off-putting. However, Taki shares a little secret with Uni. She's been following her online snarky account, her page that she gossips and vents into the void, and that means she knows Uni is dating a girl. Taki's agenda is a little murky. It's not very clear. She's definitely interested in Uni, and she's not exactly fighting fair. She's taking advantage of situations. She's manipulating things a bit, and getting Uni into some murky waters. So yeah, there's the recipe for the cheating. And yeah, I don't know if it's because they're in high school, they're young, they're foolish, I can be a little more forgiving, or if it's because we do see just the shit relationship that she's kind of stuck in. Like, she obviously cares for her girlfriend, but she's obviously also unsatisfied with their, you know, current state of things. However, the mature thing to do, the responsible thing to do, is communicate. And if things don't change, you break up. Say it with me now. Communicate, then you break up. I mean, not in that, like, you know, if things don't go well with the communicate, then you break up. If you communicate and things work out, then yay, lovey, lovey, dovey, dovey. But yeah, so don't do what they do. Just enjoy the mess of it all. And oh my god, it's so messy, but it's like messy fun. Like, I sometimes like indulging in a little shit show of a reality TV series. I just watched Temptation Island, and talk about cheating. Oh my god, that one was such a shit show. And yeah, I feel like it's pretty apt to bring it up here while I'm talking about this series. So yeah, if you like the mess, if you've watched Temptation Island, I think you might enjoy the mess that is this Yuri series. I also appreciate that it's a Yuri, and you know, cute girls doing naughty things, getting hot in here. Is that the summer heat, or is it this spicy book? I don't know. But yeah, this one is rated older teen, 17 plus. It has a little warning, parental advisory. So it's stepping it up a notch from the past 3 that we talked about that were more cutesy fan service, a little sprinkle of ecchi on your rom-com. There isn't much cuteness, like I could say about the other ones that you know, balance the fan service out. What I think balances the fan servicey moments out in this one is just the drama, and like my eyes, they're glued. They are waiting. I am sweating because of the anticipation of the what's gonna happen next. I mean, I'm also literally sweating because the ice balls in here. You can see the glisten on my face, but I am metaphorically sweating when I'm reading this, because it is just like so, like, oh my god, jaw-dropping. Like, the drama, the intrigue, the salaciousness, like, what is gonna happen? What are they gonna do? How far are they gonna take it? Like, what the fuck? dog. I don't know. It is a wild ride and you should take the ride. Take the ride with me. Let's go. And yeah, that'll do it for these Sizzlin new manga that I personally really love and would recommend you checking them out if they sound like anything you might enjoy as well. And if you've read any of them, let me know if you also are enjoying them and what other ecchi type series that you would recommend to me if you think I might enjoy them. This was just newer titles, ones that were just getting started, and so I thought that would be a good amount to share in this video. I'm trying to make shorter videos. Speaking of, if you didn't catch my Saturday spotlight video on Aria, it's such a good manga. I highly recommend checking out the video and seeing if you wouldn't like picking up Aria as well. I think it'll be a really great summer read. Not, you know, they're not gonna leave you sweaty and hot like these reads, but it's a very relaxing series that's a nice meditative escape into Aria. But yeah, these series all make you sweat. Whew, like I am right now. So with that being said, I hope to see you next Saturday for another Saturday Spotlight. I hope you enjoy that video next. And if not, maybe I'll see you next Monday for my Manga Monday video. Until then, bye!